There is a sacred map hidden within you, not in any book, not in any temple of stone, but in the living temple of your body. Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, guardian of sacred codes and scribe of the divine, whispered of this map to those ready to listen. 13 energy gates that hold your life force, your voice, your breath, and your creative power. Most of humanity has only fragments, 7 chakras, 12 somatic knots, partial techniques to free tension. But Thoth spoke of something greater, something hidden for centuries. The forgotten seal that locks these 13 energy gates together, silently shaping every movement, every breath, every thought. When the Forgotten Seal of Thoth is closed, your body carries invisible weight, fear etched into your breath, silence woven into your voice, creative power trapped in a loop of fatigue and hesitation. You feel it every day, even when you cannot name it. But when the 13 energy gates open, when the Forgotten Seal of Thoth is finally released, something extraordinary awakens. Your body becomes light and alive. Your voice flows effortlessly. Your breath deepens and your creative power surges as if life itself were saying yes again. Today, we will journey through these 13 energy gates and learn the ancient way to release Thoth's forgotten seal, the key to restoring your natural rhythm, your deep breath, and your creative power that has always been waiting within you. Stay until the end, because this is not just a technique, it is an initiation, a remembrance, a return to the living temple that you are.
Portal 1. The Sacrum, Root of Survival and Grounding. The first of the 13 energy gates begins where life itself anchors, the sacrum, the sacred root of survival and grounding. Thoth called this the gate of stability, where the body learns its first language, safety. When this gate is closed, the body contracts, as if the ground beneath you could vanish at any moment. You feel heavy, disconnected, restless, as if some invisible weight pulls you down. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth shows us that this is no ordinary tension. It is the memory of every moment you felt unsafe, unprotected, or unsupported. And when this energy gate stays locked, the entire temple of the body trembles, breath shortens, posture collapses, and your creative power cannot flow. But when this first energy gate opens, a shift begins immediately. The spine lengthens, the hips feel free, and a silent message rises within you. I am safe to exist. I am safe to create. Thoth's practice for the sacrum. Stand or sit comfortably. Place your hands over your lower back, close your eyes, and take a slow, deep breath into the base of your spine. As you exhale, gently rock your pelvis forward and back, creating a wave-like motion. With each movement, repeat inwardly. I open the first energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. My body is safe. My creative power flows. This is how the temple opens. One gate, one breath, one memory released at a time.
Portal 2. The pelvic center, flow of life and release. The second of the 13 energy gates is the pelvic center, the cradle of life, pleasure, and emotional release. Thoth called it the gate of flow, for it is here that life moves like water. When this energy gate is closed, you feel as though you are holding yourself together with an invisible rope. Movement becomes rigid, breath feels shallow, and emotions are locked inside as if the body is afraid to let go. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth teaches that this closure often comes from fear of surrender, fear of releasing control, of trusting life to move through you freely. And when this pelvic center remains tense, it silently tells every other gate, hold back, don't flow, don't feel. But when this pelvic center opens, the body softens into a state of ease. Creativity begins to flow like a river, finding its path again. You feel lighter, more connected, and safe to allow life to move through you without resistance. Your creative power awakens naturally, without force. Thoth's practice for the pelvic center. Sit or lie comfortably. Bring awareness to the muscles of your pelvic floor. As you inhale, gently contract them. As you exhale, release and soften completely. Repeat this slow rhythm 3 times, then let your breathing deepen, imagining warm water flowing through your lower body. Whisper to yourself, I open the second energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. My life flows. My creative power returns. This is how your temple remembers movement, not with effort, but with trust.
Portal 3, the solar reservoir, power and suppressed will. The third of the 13 energy gates is the solar reservoir, the inner furnace where power, will, and courage are born. Thoth called it the gate of inner fire, for here lies the energy to act, to decide, to create. When this energy gate is closed, you feel powerless, ashamed, or trapped in hesitation. Your breath becomes tight in the upper abdomen. Your posture collapses inward, and your creative power fades into silence. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth reveals that this blockage is often born from moments when your voice, your choices, or your strength were suppressed. The body memorizes that silence, keeping your fire small so it won't burn too brightly. But when this energy gate opens, the entire body vibrates differently. Your chest feels lighter, your spine naturally straightens, and a deep knowing rises within. I am allowed to act. I am allowed to create. Thoth's practice for the solar reservoir. Place one hand over your solar plexus, just below the sternum. Inhale deeply into your belly, and on the exhale, release a long, low ah sound vibrating through your chest. Imagine a golden light spreading from this center outward like the sun rising inside your body. Whisper to yourself, I open the third energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. My inner fire is safe. My creative power awakens. This is how the temple remembers its strength, one breath, one sound, one gate at a time. Portal 4, the Heart Gateway, Emotional Armor and Compassion. The fourth of the 13 energy gates is the Heart Gateway, the sacred bridge between inner and outer worlds, between thought and feeling, between self and creation. Thoth called it the Gate of Compassion, for it is here that life chooses whether to open or to hide. When this energy gate is closed, your body wears an invisible armor. Shoulders round forward, breath stops high in the chest, and love, both given and received, feels unsafe. Your voice softens, your posture collapses, and your creative power dims quietly, hidden behind that shield. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth teaches that this closing often comes from heartbreak, betrayal, or silent grief, memories so heavy they mold the body into protection. But protection turns to isolation, and isolation dims life itself. When the heart gateway opens, something miraculous happens. The armor softens, breath deepens, and warmth radiates through your chest like sunlight breaking through clouds. In that moment, connection returns to yourself, to others, and to the source of your creative power. Thoth's practice for the heart gateway. Cross your arms and place both hands over your sternum. Inhale slowly, imagining your chest expanding in every direction. As you exhale, roll your shoulders gently back and down, feeling space open inside. Whisper inwardly, I open the fourth energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. My heart is safe. My creative power flows with compassion. This is how the temple learns love again. One breath, one opening, one silent choice to feel.
Portal 5, the Throat Gate, Forbidden Voice and Truth. The fifth of the 13 energy gates is the Throat Gate, the sacred channel of expression, truth, and resonance. Thoth called it the gate of voice, for it is here that thought becomes sound, and sound becomes creation. When this energy gate is closed, your voice trembles or disappears altogether. Words remain unspoken, truth is swallowed, and your creative power is forced into silence. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth reveals that this closure often comes from moments when speaking felt dangerous or impossible, times when your truth was dismissed or your voice punished. The body remembers and closes this passage as if muting its own power to avoid pain. But when this throat gate opens, your voice becomes clear and resonant. You speak truth without fear, sing without shame, and create without hesitation. The vibration of your words alone changes your internal energy field, awakening new levels of creative power throughout all the energy gates. Thoth's practice for the throat gate. Place your fingertips gently along the sides of your throat. Inhale slowly, and on the exhale, hum softly, a long, deep vibration that fills your neck and chest. Imagine each hum loosening chains, releasing silence, and restoring freedom of expression. Whisper inwardly, I open the fifth energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. My voice is free. My creative power flows in truth. This is how the temple remembers its voice, with courage, resonance, and the sound of liberation. Portal 6, the Jaw Channel, Decisions Unspoken. The sixth of the 13 energy gates is the Jaw Channel, the place where unspoken choices and suppressed strength live in silence. Thoth called it the Gate of Decisions, for it is here that your body holds every yes you wanted to speak but swallowed, every no you needed to declare but feared to voice. When this energy gate is closed, the jaw tightens, teeth grind, and headaches emerge like echoes of unsaid truths. This tension silently tells your body, do not choose, do not move, do not create. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth shows that when this jaw channel stays locked, your entire being hesitates, life pauses, creative expression falters, and even clarity of thought feels blurred. But when this energy gate opens, a profound release occurs. Inner conflict dissolves, choices feel lighter, and your creative power flows with confidence. Thoth's practice for the jaw channel. Sit comfortably, letting your jaw relax. Place your fingertips lightly on the joints near your ears. Inhale slowly, and on the exhale, create a long, gentle sigh as your mouth opens slightly, like an intentional yawn releasing years of silent pressure. Imagine each exhale clearing hesitation and restoring clarity of decision.
Whisper inwardly, "I open the sixth energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. My decisions are free. My creative power flows with confidence." This is how the temple regains direction, by releasing what was unsaid and choosing life fully, one decision at a time. Portal 7, the third eye passage. Vision blocked by fear. The seventh of the 13 energy gates is the third eye passage, the seat of vision beyond sight, where intuition and clarity flow like light. Thoth called it the gate of inner vision, for it is here that the body listens to the unseen, where wisdom whispers and truth takes shape. When this energy gate is closed, fear clouds perception, and the future feels uncertain, as if walking through life with eyes half closed. Decisions lose clarity, and your creative power weakens because you cannot see the full path ahead. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth teaches that this closure is often born from doubt. Doubt of self, doubt of purpose, doubt of the unseen intelligence guiding your steps. But when this third eye passage opens, light floods your awareness. Intuition sharpens, inner guidance becomes audible, and your creative power awakens with precision and confidence. Thoth's practice for the third eye passage: sit with your spine tall and your eyes gently closed. Place one finger lightly between your eyebrows. Inhale deeply, and on the exhale, imagine a beam of golden light streaming inward and outward from this point. Whisper inwardly, "I open the seventh energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. My vision is clear. My creative power flows with wisdom." This is how the temple sees again, not just with eyes, but with insight, faith, and unshakable clarity. Portal 8, the crown aperture, disconnected from source. The eighth of the 13 energy gates is the crown aperture, the highest point of the temple, the luminous doorway where inspiration, spirit, and divine intelligence flow into the human body. Thoth called it the gate of union, for it is here that the human meets the eternal, where creation listens to the Creator. When this energy gate is closed, you feel separated, isolated from purpose, as if an invisible ceiling blocks your connection to the infinite. Ideas fade, inspiration feels distant, and your creative power seems to vanish into silence. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth teaches that this closing often comes from fear of trust, a subtle resistance to surrendering into the greater intelligence that sustains life itself. But when the crown aperture opens, a current of stillness and light floods your being. You feel guided, supported, and inspired, as though life itself breathes through you. Your creative power becomes luminous, intuitive, and effortless. Thoth's practice for the crown aperture. Place your fingertips softly on the top of your head. Inhale gently, and on the exhale, imagine a column of golden light descending through your crown and anchoring deep into your body. Whisper inwardly, "I open the eighth energy gate. I release the forgotten seal. I am connected to Source. My creative power flows from the infinite." This is how the temple remembers its highest connection, not as an idea, but as a living, breathing union with life itself. Portal 9, the hands portals, creative action suppressed. The ninth of the 13 energy gates is found in the hands, the portals of action, creation, and touch. Thoth called them the gates of manifestation, for it is through the hands that thought becomes form, that energy becomes tangible reality. When these energy gates are closed, creativity feels stalled, projects remain unfinished, and even simple gestures feel heavy, as if life itself resists your touch.
Your creative power longs to move outward, yet something invisible keeps it trapped within. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth reveals that this closure often comes from fear of failure or past wounds of rejection, memories where your efforts were dismissed or your gifts ignored. But when the hand's portals open, your energy flows outward with clarity and purpose. Every gesture feels meaningful, every creation carries life, and your creative power moves from thought to action effortlessly. Thoth's practice for the hand's portals. Hold your hands out in front of you, palms open. Inhale deeply, and on the exhale, shake your hands gently as if casting off invisible weight. Then, press your palms together. Breathe deeply into the center of your hands and imagine radiant light flowing through them. Whisper inwardly, "I open the 9th energy gate. I release the Forgotten Seal. My hands create freely. My creative power flows into action." This is how the temple remembers movement, by letting energy extend beyond the self, turning inner vision into living reality.
Portal 10. The feet anchors, disconnected from earth flow. The 10th of the 13 energy gates lies within your feet, the anchors of your temple and the living connection to the earth's flow. Thoth called them the gates of foundation, for it is through the feet that balance, stability, and the rhythm of life enter the body. When these energy gates are closed, you feel unsteady, restless, or disconnected, like standing on shifting ground. It becomes hard to feel supported by life, and your creative power hesitates, unsure where to stand and grow. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth teaches that closing these gates often comes from experiences of instability, times when safety and security felt uncertain. But when the feet anchors open, something profound awakens. You feel rooted, balanced, and deeply connected to the earth. From this connection, your creative power flows upward naturally, like a tree drawing strength from deep roots to create life above. Thoth's practice for the feet anchors. Stand barefoot if possible. Inhale deeply, feeling weight sink into your heels. On the exhale, imagine roots growing from your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you with strength and stability. Whisper inwardly, "I open the 10th energy gate. I release the Forgotten Seal. I am grounded. My creative power flows with stability." This is how the temple remembers its foundation, with every step becoming a declaration, "I belong. I am supported. I create from solid ground."
Portal 11. The Spinal Channel. Unreleased trauma memory. The 11th of the 13 energy gates is the spinal channel, the central column of life, carrying both strength and memory through every nerve and vertebrae. Thoth called it the Gate of Memory, for it is here that the body keeps silent records of every fall, every shock, and every emotional weight you thought you had forgotten. When this energy gate is closed, your posture stiffens, movement feels restricted, and even breathing seems shallow, as if your body is bracing for an old pain that never came. And when this channel locks, your creative power collapses inward, unable to rise freely. The Forgotten Seal of Thoth teaches that the spine holds not only physical tension, but the echoes of ancient fear and unspoken grief. Yet when the spinal channel opens, energy ascends like a serpent awakening. You feel taller, lighter, and deeply alive, your creative power flowing upward as though the temple within you has remembered how to stand proud again. Thoth's practice for the spinal channel.
Stand with feet hip-width apart. Inhale deeply, then slowly roll your spine forward and back, vertebrae by vertebrae, like a wave rising and falling. On each exhale, imagine tension melting off your back like dust shaken from old stone walls. Whisper inwardly, I open the 11th energy gate. I release the Forgotten Seal. My spine is free. My creative power rises. This is how the temple remembers its sacred column, as a channel of strength, memory, and rebirth. Portal 12. The Lung Wings, Restricted Breath and Life Force. The 12th of the 13 energy gates lives within your lungs, the wings of your temple, where breath becomes life, and life becomes expression. Thoth called them the gates of breath, for here every inhale draws in possibility, and every exhale releases what no longer serves. When these energy gates are closed, breathing feels shallow and restrained, as if life itself hesitates to enter. A heaviness lingers in the chest, a silent pressure that dims vitality and quiets your creative power. Thoth's Forgotten Seal reveals that this closing often comes from sorrow, grief held so tightly that the body learns to breathe less, to feel less, to protect itself from pain. But when the lung wings open, it is as if an invisible weight lifts from your chest. Breath flows fully, energy surges, and your creative power expands outward, free and limitless. Thoth's practice for the lung wings: place both hands over your ribs. Inhale in 3 stages: belly, ribs, chest. Then exhale slowly, letting your arms open wide as if spreading unseen wings. With each exhale, whisper inwardly, I open the 12th energy gate. I release the Forgotten Seal. My breath is free. My creative power flows in every breath. This is how the temple remembers flight, when each breath becomes a silent vow to live fully and create freely. Portal 13. Thoth's Seal, Occiput and Vagus, the Master Key. The 13th of the 13 energy gates is not like the others. It is the Forgotten Seal of Thoth, the master key hidden where body and consciousness meet, at the base of the skull and along the vagus nerve, the silent thread linking mind, breath, and heart. Thoth called it the gate of the scribe, the place where every memory, every reaction, every survival instinct is recorded. When this energy gate is closed, the body lives in silent alertness, jaw tense, breath shallow, voice weak, mind restless. All other energy gates feel heavier, as if carrying a secret weight they cannot name. Your creative power dims, waiting for permission to awaken. But when the Forgotten Seal of Thoth is released, everything changes at once. The body softens out of defense, the breath becomes deeper, the voice steadier, the mind clearer. And in that instant, your creative power ignites, not in one part of you, but in your entire being. It is as if the temple of your body remembers it is not only alive, it is divine. Thoth's practice for the seal. Place your hands gently at the base of your skull, fingers resting along the neck. Inhale deeply, and on the exhale, hum low and steady, feeling vibrations spread through your head and chest. Imagine an ancient golden symbol, Thoth's mark of wisdom, unlocking at this point. Whisper inwardly, I open the 13th energy gate. I release the Forgotten Seal. I awaken fully. My creative power flows without end. This is how the temple awakens completely, not just releasing tension, but stepping into a new state of being
where creation flows effortlessly, guided by wisdom and light.
With the Forgotten Seal of Thoth open, all 13 energy gates align, and your body, your living temple, vibrates as it was always meant to. Pause, breathe, feel. You have just traveled through the sacred architecture of your own being, released ancient tensions, and touched the Forgotten Seal of Thoth, the master key of your body's wisdom and creative power. If you felt even one shift, one breath deeper, one spark of clarity, one memory softening its grip, this initiation has already begun for you. Whisper with me now. I open the 13 gates of my body and release Thoth's Forgotten Seal. My creative power flows freely. Write this mantra in the comments. Let this be your signature, your seal, your commitment to your awakening. Like this video, share it with someone you love. Subscribe and turn on notifications because this channel is building a movement of living temples awakening together. And don't stop here. Click on the next video appearing on your screen and continue unlocking the ancient wisdom of Thoth. The gates are open, the seal is released, and your creative power is already flowing. Your temple has awakened. Now live it.